All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Or rather, whenever you're seeing this, if it's morning, good morning. If it's afternoon, the afternoon. If it is evening, good evening. The point is that you can see the video as at when you are seeing it. All right. Now, last class, I gave you a theoretical explanation of the topic spreadsheet package. And I pointed out certain very key things in explaining some terminologies like what a spreadsheet package is, what a cell is, what a row is, and what a column is. I also explained the concepts, uh, function, and formula. I could remember vividly stating clearly that a function can be used in a formula. And one way to know a formula is that it has a prefix equal to. There's usually this operand or operator equal to that must begin before adding values to the formula. I also clearly stated out that you can use a function in a formula. How do you know a function? A function is preceded with an open and close parenthesis or open and close brace, what you call open and close brackets. Okay, all right. Now, that was more of a theoretical class, but now we're going to be having a practical class. In this class, we're making use of 3 or 4 functions. Basically, we'll be making use of the sum, we'll be making use of and, we'll be making use of if, I will be making use of rank. To sum, we will use it basically to get the total of the first CA, the second CA, and the exam. Okay, so more like in order to get the total, we'll make use of sum. In order to get the grade, this is a very technical one that I'd like every one of you to pay attention. If you take this video for granted, time will come when you might have to pay somebody to learn this thing you are learning now. Okay, now if you see the formula here, very long, that is what we'll be practicalizing. So in a short while, I'm going to cancel some of the things that you have on the screen there. You have the total. This total was calculated using a formula. You have the grade was calculated using a formula. And then you have the position. The position was also calculated using a formula. And the remark. Of course, in your result sheet, you know, a remark tells you if you fail or you passed. Basically, any other thing can be included, but basically that's what it's all about. Now, I gave you an assignment last class, and I said tabulate 30 record and populate it with scores. And then using formula or function, calculate the total and the grade. I don't know if any of you did it, but I'm here to receive the assignment. I sent you my Gmail. You have to send your assignment days for easy marking and return of your assignment so you can see your progress report. Okay, so now today, practically looking at function and formula. But before we talk about that, remember I talked about a cell. And I said a cell is a point of intersection between a row and a column. Where you have this single box is called a cell because you have a row and a column. You have a row from left to right and a column from top to down, intersecting at this very point. So where the row and the column intersect is called a cell. Now, we also looked at row and column. I would say a row is a horizontal line of cell in a spreadsheet. Horizontal, of course, you know horizontal means from left to right. Horizontal line of cell in a spreadsheet. In other words, is the arrangement of cells after each other horizontally. So you have cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5, cell 6, cell 7, cell 8, like that. Horizontally from left to right, or from right to left, horizontally is called a row, okay? But when you have a line of cell vertically arranged in a spreadsheet, it's called a column. Like you can see here, okay? It's called a column, up to down. So row left to right, column top to bottom, okay? Now, one other way to differentiate a row and a column, you discover that a column is denoted by letters A, B, C, D, E, F. While a row is denoted by numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, okay? And just easily know that from left to right is row, top to bottom, column, okay? And then where each row and each column intersect is called a cell. All right, now having established that, just a way of reminding you, let's go straight to what we have. So permit me to cancel all what we have, or rather delete everything we have here, because I want us to practically have it, okay? We want to do it practically and see how we got all this. All right, please pay very close attention, because if you don't follow me, you will struggle at one point or the other to figure out what I've done. So please pay very close attention. And then don't be far from your system. Get your system so that you can always practice what I'm teaching you. All right, now, if you have done your assignment I gave last class, I told you to populate it 30, but I've done just 10. You have the first CA, you have the second CA, you have exam. But now I want you to compute the total, grade, position, remark using a formula or a function, whatever suits you, okay? Now, we have 10 names with their first CAs, second CAs, and exam. We want to calculate the total. Without wasting time, I told you that you can use a function in a formula. How do you know a formula? A formula must start with an operator equals to, while a function is usually preceded by an open and close parentheses or braces or brackets, whatever you want to call it. And then when you have a function in a formula, it's also possible. You can know by seeing an equal to sign as a prefix or before the function is written, and then you just know that there's an open and close parenthesis at the front. It tells you that this is a function in a formula. All right, so we want to calculate. The first thing we want to do is we want to sum up the first CA, second CA, and exam of the holder Osinbajo Goodluck. Of course, one of the functions we can work with is the sum. This time we're going to put it in a formula using the equal to sign. Equal to, open a bracket, rather equal to, then the identifier, sum, S-U-M. Then you open the bracket. Now, I also taught you about reference point. So I want to write this 10 now. Instead of putting 10, I will trace the reference point. I'll use the reference IDs. How do I know the reference ID? Look at the column. What letter is on the column? C. Now trace it to the row. What number is on the row? 2. That means the reference number of this reference point of this number 10 is C2. That's why you have C2. Okay? Now, the reference point of 8 is column D. Trace it down to row 2. So that is D2. Just like that. The reference point of 55, column E. Trace it down to the row 2. That's E2. Okay? Now, having gotten that, we want to sum C2 down to E2. Okay? Instead of saying C2 plus E2 plus, let's just quote it. Okay? So C2 column E2. close the bracket, and see that equals to sum C2 colon E2. Just press your enter key, enter, and it gives you 73. Remember, I practically did that in using a formula can contain a reference point to a cell, a formula can contain value, and a formula can contain a function. Okay, if you click on this 73, you have a function, you have a reference point, which is C2, and for now, we didn't use a value. If I want to use a value to calculate this, all I need to do is say 10 plus 8 plus 55. It will still give us the same 73. But now we're using a formula, a function in a formula. I want to believe that's clear. Now, instead of repeating the same thing here, all right, let's repeat it for Amena Raphael, equals to, we're summing them, SUM, sum, bracket, open. Then you say C. Now, Amena Raphael is under C. We want to use the reference point. C, what? The column is C actually, the row is what? 3. So C3, column, and then what's the last one? E, trace it down, 3. So E3. Close the bracket, press the enter key, and it gives you 78. Repeating this is just waste of time. All you need to do is make sure you have, at this small box here, you can see a small box here. Take your arrow there, it turns black. Press your left mouse and drag it down. Automatically affects everything. Okay, so you have their total done as simple as possible. Okay, if you click on any of the totals, the formula appears. You can see that. Click on any of the formula, any of the total, the formula appears. So without wasting time, let's go to the grade. How do we calculate the grade? Before we start calculating the grade, I want you to understand something. In every school setting, there is grade standard, and Divine Mercy Secondary School is not an exception. Okay, to calculate the grade here, the first thing that you should work on is what are the gradings. Okay, so from 70 and above is A. Okay, now, so what you are saying is that if the total, let's say we want to start with this guy, F2. If F2 is greater than 70, let his grade be A. So that first one is very simple. If F2 is greater than 70, let the grade be A. Now, but you want to run a formula that at the end, when you drag it through, it will affect everything. So you cannot just stop there because all of them are not 70. So take, for example, this 55. Maybe 73, 73, 78, 72, 78 might give you A. But if you stop there, there will be nothing to record for 51, nothing to record for 41, nothing to record for 29, nothing to record for 64, nothing to record for 59, nothing to record for 65. Okay, so you have to write down a formula or a function that covers everything so that you can drag it down and it affects everyone. Okay, do you understand? Now, that is where we use what we call the if and function. If is a function on its own, and is a function on its own. But we want to combine them together so that we can have a conditional statement. If this is not equal to this, and this is greater than this, give us this. That's how we're going to get the grade. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now let's try it. Now I told you that the first thing you need to know is what are the grading systems. If it's greater than, if it's 70 or greater than 70A, that's what we want to do. If it is greater than 59 but less than 70B, if it is greater than 49, you know, greater than 49 starts from 50. If it is greater than 49 but less than 61, you know, if it is less than 61, that is 50. Okay, so greater than 49, 50, but less than 70. That means we're looking at from 50 to 70. The range is 70 and above, okay? 60 to 69 give you B. Then 50 to 59 give you C. Then 45 to 50, 45 to 49 give you D. Then 49 to, sorry, 40 to 45 give you P, thereabouts, and then anything less than 40F. That's what I want to do. So I'll take that again. The range is 70 and above A, okay? Then 59, that's 60 to 69 B, 50 to 59 C, 49, let me say 49, sorry, 40 to 49 D, and then anything less than 40 F. Let's do it like that, okay? So how are we going to get a range? Of course, we know anything greater than 70. You can just say anything greater than 69, because if it's greater than 69, the next is 70. Upward gives you A, okay? So how are we going to get 60 to 69? Simple. All we need to say is, if, let's say, one work on F2. So to get 60 to 69, we'll say if F2 is greater than 59. You know, after 59, you have 60. So, and the target is 60 to 69. If F2 is greater than 59 and F2 is less than 70, you know, if it's less than 70, the next figure below is 69. It gives you B. Okay, so if F2 is greater than 59 and F2 is less than 70, B. Now, to get C, which is from 50 to 59, we say if F2 is greater than 49, because after 49 is 50, and F2 is less than 60, no, less than 60 below is 69. You have your C. So to get your D, you know, D we said is from 40 to 49. So if F2 is greater than 39, because 39, after 39 you get 40, and then F2 is less than 50, you know, less than 50 below is 49. You have your D. Then anything less than 40F. As simple as that. That's how we're going to do it. So, all right. So everybody, we're going to use a function inside a formula. How do you know that? It starts with an equal to sign. Okay. So you say if bracket open, the conditional statement. Now, once you started this, you started programming, you started coding how to use conditional statement. If we are working on this guy, the total is 73. So we are looking at this guy now, 73, F2. If F2 is greater than 69, you now say comma, put quote, A, close the quote. Can you see that? Comma. The reason why I'm putting comma here is because I want to make another statement. It's going to be long so that I can cover from 1 to 10. Okay? All right. So I'm going to write a long conditional statement. So anyone that meets this conditional statement, show me the result. That's what it means. So if F2 is greater than 69, you know, after 69 is 70 upward. Okay? Give me A. Comma. I'm going to basically say if, open another bracket. This time I want to put two words, two conditions joined together. So I'm going to use if and. I use only if here because it's just one straight. F2 is greater than 69. But I want to join two. So instead of saying if A is less than B and B is you put the if and the and together. So if and, okay, this first parenthesis or bracket that was open was for if. Let me open another one for and. Okay, because these are two functions. Okay, if and, now what I'm trying to say is if F2 is greater than, remember that I've gotten A, now I want to get B, and B is from 60 to 69. 60 to 69. So to get 60, it has to be greater than 59. Okay, if F2 is greater than 59, comma, F2 less than 50 to 59. I've gotten 50. Sorry, I've gotten 60, which is greater than 59. I want to get 69. That will be less than 70, because less than 70 below gives you 69. So 70. Okay, comma. Put a quote. What do you want it to have? Before I put a quote, make sure you close this and comment. Close it. See, I've closed it. And after I close it, I have a comma outside. Now this quote will tell me what it should be. Of course, we've gotten the A, the next one is B, and then I close the quote. This is where most people make mistake. Sometimes they take this close bracket outside this comma and it will not run. Some people even take this close bracket outside the B or put the B quote inside, it will not run. You close it once you've written your conditional statement, put your comma and then write this. Now I'll write another statement again, but first I'll put a comma. So I'm separating each comment with a comma. Okay, so now I've gotten B. Let me get C. If, don't forget this comma, if not, no run. If, open a bracket and, open a bracket for and, now F2 is greater than, what are we looking for? C. C is from 50 to 59. Okay, that's how I'm constructing it here now. 50 to 59. So greater than, how do I get 50? What number will be greater than 1 to get, what number do I need to add 1 to get 50? That's 49. So 49, the next number greater than 49 is 50. So I've gotten 50. If F2 is greater than 49, comma, F2 less than, remember we're looking for 50 to 59. So what number minus 1 will give me 59? 60. So I put 60 there. Okay, then I close it, separate it with a comma. Now what do I want it to be? C. Close the quote, comma, because we need to get D. Okay, now okay, all right, trying to bring the video down so that it doesn't distract me. Right, let me take it upwards. Okay, now we're looking for D, and we said D is from 40 to 49. Okay, so I make my if, remember that there's a comma here already to separate what I want to do next. If brackets open and bracket open for and, now F2 is greater than, remember I'm looking for 40 to 49. So what number plus 1 will give us 40? 39. 39, comma, and F2 is less than 40 to 49. What number minus 1 will give us 49? 50. So 50, close it. All right, now put a comma, open a quote. What do you want it to be? I want it to be a D. Close the quote, put a comma. Okay, since the next one is F, no need of repeating the conditional statement. Just say comma, quote, F, close the quote. What that means is that if it doesn't meet all this condition down to D, make it F. Straight up, don't waste time, make it F. Else, F. Okay, so now you notice that the only brace we are closing is only the AND function. AND function, AND function, AND function. We have not closed the if function. Okay, so how do you know how many brace, close brace you put? Simple, count the if. 1 if, 2 if, 3 if, 4 if. Okay, 4 ifs. So close it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you have your close brace. When you run it, you will see your letter there. And you see we have A. Now, if you drag this thing down, because the conditional statement contains all the values there, if you drag it down, it's going to tell you where it should have a C, automatically you see a C. Where it should have a D, automatically you see a D, like using the total. Okay, so let's drag it out. I told you how to drag down, you don't need to repeat. Make sure you can see a black box, small box here. Just go there, make sure you can see a black small plus sign or cross sign. Press your left mouse down and then slide it down. Can you see? Now, can you see? But in this formula, we have an issue there because 65 is giving us F, okay? And 64 is giving us F. So there's an issue with the conditional statement for B. There's an issue with the conditional statement for B. So let's go there and see what the issue is. If an F2 is greater than F9, comma, of course, greater than F9 should give us F2 is greater than 59, that should give us 60, okay? And then, oh, that's a problem. Look at this F2, we have greater than here, instead of greater than and less than 70, okay? So when I put less than 70 now, it will run, okay? Enter, it will run. So when I slide it down, I'm correcting it from this top because I want it to affect everything from top to bottom. If not, I would have corrected just the F. When I slide it down, it should affect it and adjust it. Okay, what's happening? Oh, look at, I wrote H270. Okay, it's not supposed to be H270. Let me remove the H2. Less than, enter. Okay, all right, so now let me slide it down and it should affect everything automatically. Can you see it? Can you see it? So 64B, 59C, 65B, of course, just the way. And then we have 51C. If you notice, we don't have any F there. So how are we going to be sure that the F is working? Because we don't have any F there. Let's construct one F there. All right, so let's add 11 and let this person be Mr. Valentine. Mr. Valentine. No, Mr. Valentine is intelligent, so let's make it something else. Tochi Ambrose. Okay, Tochi Ambrose scored 10, first CA 10, second CA, and then exam she started playing with the boy and her scores dropped to 20. Okay, so no, 20 is too big for her. Okay, let it be that is a progressive decline. She scored 5 here. Okay, so of course anything less than 40 gives you 30. Anything less than 40 gives you F. So you can see the F there. Automatically without stress, you don't have to compete. So even though you want to enter more, you see that I did not put the F. Immediately I entered the figure, it calculated himself. That's the benefit of this. You can use this to run millions of data without looking at the grade and the total again. It just does it himself. All right, so now quickly, we now have the total done. We have the grade. We want to calculate the position. First position, second position, third position. To do this, we are going to make use of rank. That is the fourth function we'll be working with. I told you we are working with 4 key functions. We're working with sum, and, if, and rank. Okay, so we want to know his first position, second position from the total. Okay, from this very total. So using rank, I told you that we're going to be running a function in a formula. Put it, make sure it starts with your equal to, then you type your rank, RANK, open your bracket. Okay, now the question is, what row are you starting with? What row do you want it to start with? Because we have 10 records here. Where do you want it to start? That's the first thing you enter. Now I want it to start from F 2, which is where the first record is Osinbajo Goodluck, down to F11. Sorry, down to F12. See it here. From F2 to F12. Okay, so now, simple as possible, all you need to do, the number you want to start with, put it there. Put the reference point there, which is F2. Put a comma. This is how to use a rank. Okay, put a comma. Then, now define the range. What you've just defined is the starting point, F2. Define the range from here to here, okay? So if you want to define the range, you use a $sign to start it up. So $F, $2, just technically repeated F2, okay? Then column. Now from F2 to what? F2 to F11. So $F and $11. Okay, is 11 is 12. Okay, so F2 to F12, close bracket, enter. You see 3 there. What it means is that this Osinbajo Goodluck position is third. As far as this course is concerned, his position is third. So let's slide it down and see if we get a first, second, and blah, blah, blah. Now I told you how to slide down. Look for this small box. Make sure the red cross, black cross appears. Drag it down. Can you see? Can you see? So you have 2 people tied here. Ajuan Ene and Amena Raphael. First. Okay? But because Microsoft Excel is very smart, it did not repeat any figure because of a double 1 we have there. So instead of saying the next one should start with 2, we have the 3rd position, 4th position, 5th position, 6th position, 7th position, 8th position, 9th position, 10th position, 11th position. Now, this thing is not arranged. Once we are done, I'll teach you how to sort it so that let first position start first. Okay? But now you can see what we're doing. Very easy, very cool, very simple. All right? In case there's any part you're confused, all you need to do is just replay the video again and again and again, and you have your work done. As simple as that. How to use Microsoft Word. Okay, sorry, Microsoft Excel to prepare an exam sheet. Simple as that. Now let's go to the remark. The remark is just simple. All we need here is either you pass or you fail. You passed or you fail. It's as simple as that. So if you have greater than 40, if you have 40 or greater than 40, pass. If you have less than 40, fail. That's the simplest way to do the remark. But if you want to split it, you have to now do the same thing you did for grade. So anywhere you see A, give it excellent. Anywhere you see B, give it good or very good. Anywhere you see C, give it good. Anywhere you see D, give it pass. Anywhere you see F, put F there. But I leave you to experiment that yourself. Just using almost the same thing we did here for grade. But I just want us to use 2 for remarks so we don't repeat everything, and then so that we can maximize the time before the Zoom lapses. Okay, so we just use to pass fail. The same thing, start with your equals to. You say if let's use if and see if it will give us what we want. If bracket open and bracket open, starting with, we're using H to rate it now. H3 is under H2. H2. Right, so if H2 is greater than, no need. You don't need this and. You don't need the and. Okay, so if H2 is greater than 40, rather 39, because we're starting from 40, 40 is passed. Should 40 be passed? Should 40 be passed? Should 40 be passed? No, 40 should be failed. 40 should be failed. No, 40 should be passed. Okay. If you want to get 40 and you are saying greater than, so what number plus 1 will give 40? 39. 39. So if A2 is greater than 39, which is 40, put a comma, and then put a quote, say pass, P-A-S-S, close the quote. Else, I didn't say you should write else, so just put comma, open another quote again, put fail, F-A-I-L. Close the quote, close the bracket, run it. Okay, now you see it's telling us fail because we used position H, we used H instead of grade. We're supposed to use grade to rank it, or rather total. Don't use grade, it's going to take time. That's why you want to say whether if it's A, give it excellent, good, or that. Let's use total. If it's greater than 40, so greater than 40, or if it's 40, pass. If it's less than, fail. So coming here, let's just adjust this H to the column of total, which is F. So let's put F there. That's all we need to do. Let's run it now. See? Pass. Because the total F2 is greater than 39. Okay? But anywhere is less than 39, you see F. So technically, maybe only one person will fail here. Let's roll it down as usual. See? Oh, 2 people failed. Wow. Okay, see, 2 people failed. This guy failed. He scored 29 in the total. And this guy failed. He scored 35 in the total. So practically, this is how you can use Microsoft Excel to run a formula and a function. I've simplified it to the best of my ability. Now, should in case you have questions and you want to ask me questions, you can chat me up on this number strictly to ask questions. 070-170-10869. WhatsApp me there or send me an email on samwash1@gmail.com, or rather, this is samwash@yahoo.com. Okay, samwash@yahoo.com. So these 2 information will enable you contact me easily, strictly for question. In case you are having difficulties handling any of these things that have been mentioned, you can contact me using either of these. Chat me up on this or send me an email, and then I would try as much as possible to answer your question. For now, we'll stop here. Please practice it. Be flexible. This one I didn't do that, I just made it pass and fail. You can play around it and see, ensure that anywhere you see A, let it be written excellent here. Anywhere you see B, very good. Anywhere you see C, good. Anywhere you see D, pass. Anywhere you see F, fail. Instead of just 2, you can play around it. If you have an issue, then contact me. Okay? I want to believe you understand everything I've said. So in that case, till I hear from you, take care of yourself and make sure you be your best. All right? Thank you very much.